My name is Stephen King. Spent some time in the dark.
Please don't let us be in the dark.
Help me. I'm gonna scare the hell out of you. And that's a promise.
Welcome to a new episode of Castle Rock Radio. I am Max Booth, and this is a Stephen King podcast. On this show, we talk about things that Stephen King is involved in some way. In today's episode, well, it's going to be a bit of a treat. We'll not be all talking about something Stephen King has written, but not in the way you might be thinking, unless you read the title of this episode or the description, and then in which case you already know what's going to be going on. But if you're some wild fucking maniac who just clicks on random podcasts all willy-nilly without paying any attention, like some maniac, did I say that already? I might have said it already. I don't know. I just woke up. Anyway, in this episode, we'll go through every single goddamn tweet that Stephen King has published from the time that he began tweeting until the present day, and we'll rating his dad jokes on a scale of, well, you'll have to just listen to the episode to find out the rating system. Joining us on this episode as a special comedy judge is Jessica McHugh, who has written 2 novels for us in the past because, as maybe you know, maybe you don't know, myself and my co-host, Lily Michelle, who's not present during this introduction, but she will be in the main episode, we run a publishing company. It's called Perpetual Motion Machine Publishing, and we publish books. It's nuts. It's what you might call something a maniac might do. Did I say that? I might have said that already. Like a maniac would. We've published 2 books by Jessica in the past. One is The Green Kangaroos, which is this bizarre science fiction crime novel about a new drug that you shoot straight into your ball sack. The other novel is The Train Derails in Boston. It's a haunted house novel that's about ghost dicks. But those were a few years ago. I think they're still great. Obviously, you should buy them if you like books that do not suck. But speaking of books that do not suck, Jessica had 2 new books come out just last year. We didn't publish them, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't buy them. You should absolutely buy them. One was a collection called The Maiden Voyage and Other Departures. If you look at it, there's a giant bee on the front cover. So, expect some type of bee action. Also, she had a new novel come out called Nightly Owl, Fatal Raven. It looks pretty good, man. I have a copy. I've read a few chapters already. I'm digging it, and you should also read it. Go buy Jessica's books. Go rate and review the show on iTunes. Go pledge to old Patreon at patreon.com/PMM Publishing. And most importantly, enjoy this episode on Stephen King's dad jokes. Enjoy it much how a maniac would enjoy it. Oh yeah. So the whole idea of this episode was brought on like last week or so when Stephen King committed a new crime. He wrote a new dad joke.
What?
I don't know if you guys follow along to his tweets.
I'm really bad about Twitter. I'm horrible.
But he is awful at it.
But at least he uses it. I forget that it exists.
He should not be on it at all. Well, maybe he should. That's what we're gonna find out today.
I find his responses to certain conservative tweets hysterical.
Those are pretty much the ones I've seen.
Okay, well, there's a different side of Stephen King, the darker side, the dad joke side. So he did this dad joke, and like every time he does a dad joke, it blew up with everyone just going, Steve, Steve.
Do they use their Tabitha voice to say that?
Well, the thing with Twiddle is you type it, so I don't know what they sounded like.
We assume.
And usually when he does a bad joke like this and it's received wrongly, he will follow it up with like, "Oh, don't blame me. I asked Alexa for a good joke, and that's what she told me." But we all know the truth. Steve. Last night I went through every single tweet he's written since he began in December 2013.
Nice.
And
that's a lot of tweeting.
And I lost track of the times I've said, "Oh, fuck you, Steve." Steve. So now I get to shield this hall with you.
Exciting.
So, we thought we should collect all of his humorous, so funny jokes,
quote unquote,
in the one document, and then rate them. So that's why we have contacted you, Jessica. You're one of the funniest people we know, and we need a judge, a comedy judge.
You get to be the comedy judge.
Oh my gosh.
So
welcome to
I would say, to begin with, we need some type of rating system. So what do you have in mind?
What would be, oh my gosh. I'm trying to think of, like, all the different laughs I have. Because it's like, it's like some of them probably get, like, a Krabappel laugh, like, ah!
Okay. Okay.
And then I don't know. There's got to be like a spectrum between like groan worthy and like legitimately funny, which I'm not sure any of them are gonna fall into that latter category. I don't know. I haven't read them, so
I guess we will see like what comes naturally.
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
So not all of them are strictly jokes, but they have a humorous tone that I felt was appropriate to include. So. The very first tweet he wrote was December 7th, 2013, and it was replying to his son Joe. He wrote, "Tweet whatever you want. Just don't let me catch you with your hand in your pants." Now I clicked on the link leading to the date that shows me like the status on Twitter, and he doesn't seem to be actually replying to anything. He just randomly tagged his son. Which seems like something my dad would do.
Yes.
I mean, I gotta assume that's an inside joke, or just is that just general parenting advice always? I wouldn't know, not a parent. Just keep your hands out of your pants.
Pretty much.
I can't remember my mom ever saying that to me. But
I say it to my son constantly.
I say it to everybody always.
I say it to myself, but
it's a good thing to like just tell like the mailman, "Hey, keep your hand
in your pants."
Well, maybe
actually, I'm gonna be following up every like disagreement I have with that and be like, "Hey man, just do what you want. Just keep your hand out of your pants."
There you go.
Like, just tag that onto the end.
I mean, it's a safe thing to include.
Very nice. All right, so the next one was on January 24th of 2014.
So over a month later.
So it's a memo to Justin Bieber. For the young celeb, life is a banquet of free food. What they don't tell you is that you are often the last course.
Ah,
wise.
It's just
that is wise.
I was gonna say that's just some more sage advice, huh?
I wonder what prompted that tweet.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of when Justin Bieber was super popular, so
I kind of thought that was going to go in a different direction. It was going to have something to do with like shitting your pants or something. Yeah, that's more of just kind of a wise old owl.
Yeah, not too much in the dad jokes.
But keep your hand out of your pants,
yeah.
Bieber.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so the next one was on February 22nd of 2014. Fundamentalists claim the world is only 6,000 years old. I have a pair of jeans older than that.
Yes.
Don't we all?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Now
Yep.
he's about to get milled ballsy.
Yeah.
So on April 22nd, I've noticed that these are all about a month apart.
Yeah.
When
I hope he has like an alarm.
Up time
it's time to make a tweet.
What?
I tripped over my words here. When serving eggs Benedict, there's no plate like chrome for the hollandaise.
Oh my god.
Why would he do that in April? I mean, that one I can see like in December.
Yeah, what's going on in April?
Maybe
Alright,
it was Easter. I don't know.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that one's okay, just because it sounds like something I would do.
I think it's even funnier with the date now. That's what happens when you're rich. You can just have eggs any day of the year.
Yes. Well.
Was it during? It wasn't even during the holidays.
It's
Well,
April.
you know what? It might have been Easter that year. I don't know. April 22nd.
Yeah, it's Easter every year, actually.
No, I know that, but Easter changes dates every year,
But
so...
that's clearly a play on a Christmas
Christmas,
song.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, same day, oh my.
Oh my goodness, he was having a good day.
Ooh, how about a sci-fi movie? How about a sci-fi made-for-TV movie called Locknado? You know, this tornado hits Loch Ness and... That's it. ...
What?
He wants Locknado.
That's
He
just
ate
an
too much
idea he had.
Eggs Benedict that day. He lost.
So now we jump to June 5th, so apparently his alarm system didn't work.
Oh no.
Listen here, Poe. Never seen a rapper as lame as you. I'll fill your pit and bust your pendulum too. Maybe better stick to books.
Wow, that really sounds like someone like a sophomore in high school.
Yeah.
This had to have been after they released that one video of Stephen King and Poe rapping together.
Oh yeah,
Because
that's right.
he follows it up with a second tweet.
2 minutes
2
later.
minutes later.
Mr. Poe, you're boiling in Hades while I'm riding chill with Mr. Mercedes. Yeah, better stick to books. Put a hold on the rap album.
Will was Tabitha when he was doing this. Why
know,
didn't she put a stop to it?
Maybe that's why it was every month. It was the one part of the month when she went out with the girls or something and he was left alone to tweet.
Ugh.
Maybe. Maybe. Okay. August 29th, same year, 2:18 p.m. Number 1 on my bucket list, not kicking it.
All right.
Good to know.
Very
Stephen
nice.
King.
Good job. Not really funny.
Yeah.
He probably thought,
He
it,
thought
was
it was hysterical.
pretty
I
clever.
thought it was great.
Yeah. All right. November 4th, 2014. You know that hospital Beth woke up in? I wonder if they take Dedicare.
Who's Beth? Don't know.
We don't know who the hell Beth is.
Walking Dead, I would think.
Oh.
Oh.
That makes sense.
I don't know. We don't watch that show.
Do they take Dedikill?
Yeah, I think that there was a girl named Beth on that show. I'm gonna guess it was Walking Dead.
So that would make sense, because one thing I did notice while reading all these tweets is about 2 times a year he will, for the past 9 or 10 years, no, not
It hasn't been that
since he
long, yeah.
began his
Yeah.
account, he will randomly post a rant about how come the zombies in The Walking Dead haven't biodegraded yet? He's really concerned about this. Don't you think it would have happened by now? Guys,
Yeah.
hello?
I mean, he's right.
So he definitely watches The Walking Dead.
Yeah, and is clearly miffed about it.
He's
As
probably
long as he doesn't write a novel about it, we're okay.
he has.
Several.
Okay, June 6th, 2015 at 10:03 p.m. Oh my. Okay, he goes, I can't believe how many bad Taken jokes I've seen since yesterday. I was taken aback.
I officially hate Stephen King now.
Okay. Just wait.
Just
It gets a
my
little.
tweets don't go anywhere, and I know I have some that are.
We all do. I would hesitate to say Donald Trump does, and that's saying something. Okay, January 9th, 2015. So 3 days later at 12:55 p.m. The difference between an onion and a bagpipe. Nobody cries when you chop up a bagpipe. What?
Owner of the bagpipe might.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. Do people chop a bagpipe?
No. They're saying that if you break it up and throw it in the trash, nobody would care
Well,
because
that's
nobody
just
likes
me-
the
that's
sound
just
of the instrument,
mean.
which is not true. We used to have a bagpipe player at our football games when I was in high school.
Yeah? Did someone
was
chop
awesome.
it up?
No, I mean, we were the Highlanders, so it was expected. But, I mean, this guy came, and he was a former student, and he was probably in his 30s, but he would play the bagpipes at the football games.
Did
kinda
anyone
cool.
invite him? Or did
Yeah, I
he
mean, he
just
was
show
allowed to show up.
up? Okay. That guy's back.
Follow your dreams, kids.
Okay, well, this next one is appropriate for the season.
Yes, it is.
If you like football, I guess.
On January 19th of 2015, he wrote Super Bowl 49 or Super Bowel. Say it out loud, and it sounds like a cure for constipation. Try it and see.
What does that mean?
First person to ever make that joke, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Okay, so May 19th. See if this one sounds familiar. At 9:45 p.m. The difference between an onion and a bagpipe. No one cries when you chop up a bagpipe.
Is he listening to bagpipe music or something?
He posted that same one twice?
Yeah, and it's typed slightly differently, so he's just thought, oh man, that was a funny joke.
That was funny. I should do that. I mean, maybe somebody's walking past his house playing a bagpipe at like 4 a.m. or something, and he gets mad.
Someone's stalking his house with a bagpipe.
He had a special place for that one in his heart.
I laughed a lot when I came across it twice. It's like, well, we have to include it again. And after he typed that, 5 minutes later, he goes, "Hey, come back tomorrow, folks. I've got knock-knock jokes up the wazoo."
That's not
Smiley
really
face.
not really the best place to
Up
stick
the
your knock.
wazoo?
Yeah, that's not
Up
the best
the
place
wazoo.
to put your knock-knock jokes.
Isn't it out the wazoo?
I've heard
Like
up the
you
wazoo.
explode.
Yeah. Yeah, normally it's out, but I
Like
have her up.
like a glove that you blow into.
Wazoo. All right, July 14th of 2015. Bumper sticker idea. I'm one of Trump's chumps. Jesus, how do I come up with these? Just lucky, I guess.
Wow. Did he just get a rhyming dictionary or something?
Apparently. That was his Christmas present.
I like how how fake modest he's being too. Like, oh man, what is it like to be king?
We don't know.
This next tweet, I have no idea what it means. Maybe you can shed some light on it.
On July 16th of 2015, someone dug up F.W. Murnau and stole his head. What the fuck is up with that?
What?
I don't know who F.W. Murnau is.
Someone stole his head.
I don't know.
Stole his head?
I know.
So confused.
It has to be like
It's
a
The
TV
Walking Dead.
show. Is it? Yeah, probably.
Probably.
It's either that or it's Orphan Black. He loves that show.
Yeah, but that show's good though.
Did someone lose a head in that show?
I don't think so.
Know.
Oh.
Okay, so on July 19th, 2015, at 12:01 a.m.,
Uh-oh.
a man could teach a dog to give the Hitler salute. But that wouldn't make the dog a Nazi. It would, however, make the man an idiot.
Very nice.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I
Sure.
mean, who's teaching little dogs to do
I
that?
don't know why he had to bring a dog into. I mean,
That poor dog.
I would love.
I really hope that he did actually see someone trying to teach their dog how to give the salute.
He came in the house. Tabitha, you won't guess what I just saw. I gotta say, Nazis are bad, but a Nazi dog giving the salute, I wouldn't mind seeing that.
It'd be pretty
kinda
hysterical.
Kind of cute. Kind of cute.
Like a little outfit and everything.
Yeah, they should remake At Pupil
With the
as like an
dog.
ill bad movie.
hair Nazi.
Apt puppy.
I would love that so much.
Oh my god.
Oh god. Okay, let's move on.
August 1st, 2015. How about a novel featuring a man who's always late? Thinking of calling it Go Set Your Watch, Man. Har har.
Oh my god, that hurts.
And then he said 1 minute later, sometimes I can't help myself.
Yes, yes.
I wish you could.
Okay, September.
Instead of watch, man.
Sounds like something Belt Simpson would say.
Right?
Yeah, it sounds like the horrible, like the first joke I ever wrote when I was a kid, when it was like Gulf or Desert Storm was going on, and it's like, why did the armies fighting in Desert Storm? Because they wanted to Baghdad.
Har har.
That's great. I didn't know we were talking to Stephen King.
Why haven't you tweeted that yet, Jessica?
Okay.
I know, right? It would really take me far.
I don't think it would.
I know. I remember typing it on my grandfather's typewriter, and he's like, "This is not good."
Get out of my house. Go chop up a bagpipe.
Yeah.
September 25th, 2015. It's, national, punctuation, day, who, the, fuck, new, ? I love Stephen King.
Wow. But, like, isn't that kind of like flying in the face of National Punctuation Day to use it so incorrectly?
Well, if it's National Punctuation Day, you have to bring out all the punctuation.
All of it.
What do you think Joe is thinking when these tweets pop up?
He's like, God damn it, Dad, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I mean, my dad also tweets, but it's always just like, Trump's great, so...
Again, you would say, shut the fuck up, Dad.
Yeah. I think my mom's Twitter still has the egg.
Oh, yeah, my dad's does as well.
On October 9th, 2015, worth remembering, and this really is worth remembering, just having a penis does not allow you to be a dick. That is some
All right.
sage advice there.
Yeah.
True
That's a
enough.
good one. That's a good one.
The next one is on October 13th.
At 2:46 a.m.
So he leads
No.
life like I do. Yes. Pickle walks into a bar and says, never mind, you probably already read it in Playboy.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Because we all get our jokes from Playboy.
Apparently.
Oh God. You read this
This next one is pretty funny.
Is it?
Yes, November
Is it, Phil?
15th. It is. It's very clever. If Katniss Everdeen's friend PETA got blown up, would the resulting crater be a PETA pocket? See, you made her laugh.
Oh, no. Oh.
The next one's...
I wish he had gotten blown up.
Yeah, me too. And then the same day, about half an hour later, he says, and then there was that terrible mugging when PETA was robbed to pay Paul.
Oh, my God.
That was bad.
Oh, boy, he needs more sleep.
Yes, he
Yeah,
does.
yes. On November 26th, I asked Suri, I'm assuming he means Siri, who's the world's biggest asshole? Her answer, I'd blush if I could. Not helpful, but diplomatic.
What?
It makes me want to ask Siri that.
Oh God. November 29th, 2015. Why did Humpty Dumpty have a great fall? To make up for a lousy seminal. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Oh. That's cute.
Yeah. April 8th.
At best.
I should mention, back in early 2015, in his tweets, when he wasn't doing these strokes of comedic genius, he was mostly just tweeting, who the fuck would vote for this guy? And then guess what happened? So, as we progress, he gets more and more mad about things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Is April 8th, 2016. Is extra virgin olive oil, like, extra unique? Hey, I'm just asking the question.
What?
Has he never met a virgin or something?
Extra unique?
I don't know. Is he saying, like, it's redundant, maybe? I don't know.
Yes?
Yeah. Let's move on.
I really like the idea of this next one.
Okay.
On May 4th of 2016, t-shirt idea for the Republican convention. The devil made us do it. Vote for Omen 3.
All right.
All right. Great t-shirt.
Okay, this next one, 1 second, was posted on May 11th, 2016, and he has a photo of a sign he's taken, like on the highway, a billboard with, it says, Stephen King. He'll drive you out of your mind. And his comment is, what can I say? Driving people out of their minds comes naturally, yo me. I think he meant to me.
Yeah.
And then he goes, just ask my wife. Ha, 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 ha. That he typed all those ha's.
There's 4 haws there.
Does he think he's like a 1930s, like...
Yes. Yes, he does.
Song and dance man? Like,
I think so,
did you
maybe.
forget who he is?
I don't. He's so different on Twitter than he is in his books. His jokes on the bills, and it's great.
He had bad jokes in his books, too.
He's not good at being funny.
No, he thinks he is, though.
But he truly is not.
I feel like he's definitely like a wittier. I guess when he's like playing a character, like playing himself is just not coming through.
he needs like 1,000 pages to build up culturization.
That's right.
Yeah.
On August 11th, from the Book of Republicans, lo, we have many assholes running for president. Let us consider and pick the biggest. And so it was done.
On August 15th, this is a sad day. I got strawberry jam in my computer mouse. Now I have to retire. So he's just blogging at this point.
Though on August 17th, I bought a new mouse. Guess I don't have to retire after all. Thank God.
Thank God. I was really worried there.
These next two we have to read back to back. They belong September 4th, 2016. I am sitting here with the headphones cranked, listening to Grandmaster Flash and Run DMC. In my humble opinion, just the way to ride Saturday night. And then he says, yup, I just keep coming up with funky ass shit every day. I'm like Snoop that way.
Very exciting.
Imagine him saying this to his grandson.
I just can't. I just can't. I've chosen to like just believe now that there's like a dog in a little Hitler uniform behind the computer.
That makes sense.
All right, the next one is October 14th. We're right before the election here, so suppose you were an idiot, and suppose you were Donald Trump, but I repeat myself, and then he's got it, parentheses, apologies to Mark Twain.
Oh.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
December 17th. I wonder how many people have died in Walmart stores over the years. Can you imagine that in your obit? So-and-so died in housewares. Rest in peace.
What a strange thought.
Yeah, what the hell was he doing that day?
Also, like, how many people even put the location where they died in their obit?
Who puts the aisle?
Unless they're, like, at home
Let alone the aisle.
Yeah.
I was in aisle 3B.
He's really concerned, I guess. I don't know. December 18th at 12:23 a.m. No more landline, said Sergeant Friday. Just the facts, ma'am.
Wow.
FAX.
Wow. That is definitely from, like, a 1991 joke book.
Yes. You know, speaking of facts, we used to have to... My dad owns a print or he did. He owned a print shop where like we had to make photocopies of everything. And this lawyer used to come in and he would bring us like 30 boxes that were part of a litigation. And he had to have like 2 or 3 copies of it exactly the same way as the original paperwork. So however it was stapled together, however it was facing, whatever. I mean, it used to take us like hours. We'd be there all night for like weeks on end. But every time he'd bring us this one, and it was a fax cover sheet because faxes were a big thing back then. And it did say at the top of it, just the fax man.
That's awful. You should have banned him.
It was a lot of money. A fuck ton of money there. Yeah. All right. Moving on. On January 17th, 2017, he says, "The oboe, an ill wind nobody blows good. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow I'll be playing the Holiday Inn."
What does that mean?
I don't know.
What does that mean,
Don't
Steve?
know.
What was it again?
The oboe,
Uh-huh.
an ill wind nobody blows good. I mean, I know it's a woodwind instrument, but
Yeah. Nobody blows good.
Why is he always critiquing musical
I
instruments?
don't know. Does he not like music?
Bagpipes, the oboe. He's constantly just.
It's
talking
very
shit.
Yeah, I don't understand what he has against the oboe. Or the proper grammar in that sentence.
the next month, Joe Hill tweeted something. I didn't save it, but it was like, "I hope one day I know what it's like to be shot from a cannon." And then Stephen King replied, "What's it like to be shot from a cannon? See the reviews I got on Needful Things." Which makes me think that he's constantly bitching like about reviews to his kids.
Yeah, he must be.
Like 80 years ago, no one liked Maximum Overdrive. He just brings it up at Thanksgiving.
I don't understand, like, the feeling of being shot from a cannon, why that would be likened to, like, a bad review.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Shot from a cannon or shot with a cannon?
From a cannon. I
Weird!
mean, wouldn't that be like euphoric? I mean, I don't
Be fun.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, I would think that would be fun.
What? Well, you know.
Maybe he just always tries to bring whatever the conversation is to his books.
Probably.
Right.
Like, hey, Dad, can you pass the lemon meringue pie? And he goes, "That reminds me of a kill tool I wrote once."
That reminds me of Stand By Me.
What's the difference between an onion and bagpipes? Understand.
Let me tell you.
Back to February 5th, 2017. We're back to the political ones. Figured out Pence's face. The whole thing grows when he lies, not just his nose. He's super Pinocchio.
Ew. What? Oh.
No idea.
Also, I just really don't like the image of a growing face. That just
It's pretty gross.
Although I do like a tweet that begins with, "Oh, I figured out Pence's face." How long was
like
he thinking
had been
about
having
it?
this conversation with himself for a long time leading up to this tweet.
On February 16th at 1:54 a.m.,
Oh, God.
Buddhist walks up to a hot dog stand and says, "Make me one with everything." 2 minutes later, hot dog guy gives him a loaded dog. Buddhist gives him $10, gets nothing back. Hot dog vendor explains change comes from within.
Oh my god.
What would you rate that one as, Jessica?
Oh.
It's a groaner.
Oh, God.
That might be the worst. That's pretty close.
Just wait.
February 19th, 2017. How can you tell it's a trombone player's kid on the playground? Answer, he can't swing and complains about the slide. What is it again? Another musical instrument. At least that one I understood.
That would make
Yeah,
some
that
sense.
would make some sense. Some sense.
Oh, God. Okay. March 15th, 2017. Hey, do you remember when the Who sang "Hope I Die Before I Get Old"? They are now scheduled to play an extended gig in Vegas.
So in other words, he's telling them that they need
Yeah.
to die, they're old.
Just talking shit about the Who. That's cool.
Okay. Just being like, hey guys, they're old and still around.
I mean, who's talking?
Yeah.
He looks like a frail grandma now.
telling all these dad jokes and hates instruments.
He does not like instruments. April 2nd, 2017. How's this for a new TV slogan? Fox News, home of the horn dogs. He's not wrong.
How dare he skip over April Fool's Day? This joke still skips over
I know,
the day of jokes.
Jokester Day of the Jokester Days.
Oh man. Okay, now he's doing some investigating tweeting. On April 7th, the blurb on James Patterson's latest book is from James Patterson.
That one is amusing.
Yes, it is.
April 11th, 2017, with President Forrest Trump. Every day is like a rancid box of chocolates. You never know what kind of shit you're gonna get next.
Yeah.
Again, he's not dumb there.
Yeah.
I guess.
And honestly, I think that's the first time I've heard a Forrest Trump.
A Forrest Trump.
Yeah, I don't.
That's because
I
nobody
never
dares
really
soil Tom Hanks that way.
I know, it does feel kind of like insulting.
Tom Hanks is at home. What did I do?
He's like, what?
Come on now. Get back on the oboes.
April 11th, 2017. If donuts were awarded for dumb, Sean Spicer would have his own Krispy Kreme franchise. Well, Sean Spicer is kind of stupid, so...
Yeah.
I guess.
I forgot he even existed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of fallen off the
He died.
turnip truck or
Well, maybe
something.
he got his own Krispy Kreme franchise.
Maybe he ate too many
Different
Krispy
line of
Kremes.
Yeah, maybe. May 4th, 2017. I apologize, and I am sorry are not quite the same thing. It is not a good idea to say, I apologize at a funeral.
All right, that's pretty good.
May 16th. Question. Is there such a thing as stupid bread? Answer, yes. Trumper nickel. Thank you very much. I'll be here all week, folks.
Yeah, we know, Steve.
Unfortunately, no.
Steve!
Steve.
Is this like a few minutes later? Or
2 hours later.
2 hours later. It actually used to be pumpernickel, but with inflation, it's pump a dime. Yuck, yuck, yuck. The puns in response are sick. Love them.
Oh my
Which
god.
we don't know what the puns were, but...
Yeah, we didn't look at that.
Just a bunch of, like, bread puns.
June... Oh, I included this because it's funny to me. June 13th. The Mist TV show premieres on Spike June 22nd. You might want to milk it on your calendar. It's really good.
It's that last part that's really hysterical.
You Lyle, Steve.
That Michelle is
You fucking
awful.
Lyle.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's a good thing you didn't.
Don't ever.
We ended up buying season 1 so we could do it episode by episode, and then we gave up after episode 2, despite paying $20 for it.
That was awful. Yeah.
Truly atrocious, like an oboe.
On June 13th, 2017, Trump has blocked me from reading his tweets. I may have to kill myself.
Okay. He didn't, though.
That's true.
He did not.
He didn't kill himself. 'Cause
Okay.
We got more jokes coming.
Okay, speaking of good jokes, June 22nd, Spike TV tonight at 10 p.m. The premiere. I get misty-eyed just thinking about it.
Mist is M-I-S-T capitalized.
Of course.
Yes.
Mist.
Mystified.
Yes.
Yes. August 17th.
At 1:45 a.m. I love
Somebody
it.
has got to put him to bed earlier.
When he tweets after midnight, it's like a gremlin.
Yes, well, you know. I'm sure Tabitha's asleep by then. Something to consider carefully. Change one little letter and cough drops become couch drops. Thought-provoking, isn't it? I don't know how that's thought-provoking, but okay.
Let the comedy judge tell you why. Why is it thought-provoking, Jessica?
That was awful. And you should feel bad. I feel bad for having listened to it.
September 5th at 1:28 a.m. If dogs could fly, nobody would go out without an umbrella.
He's not wrong.
I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Alright.
November 25th. If it's true that every girl is crazy about a sharp-dressed man, that kind of leaves me out.
Aw.
Aw, he's a schlubby guy. That's okay, Steve. Steve.
Okay, on November 27th, pissed off drummer is tired of people saying he's not a real musician. Goes to the music store and says, I'll show him. Give me that red trumpet and that accordion. Music store guy says, you can have the fire extinguisher, but the radiator has to say.
What the heck?
Oh yeah, this is when they increase the Twiddle Kill count, and for like a week he kept bitching like, "Oh, that's not right." He had a lot of opinions about this for some
Like, what
reason.
difference does it make? Just write short tweets then.
And
dude.
then he did this tweet, and everyone was like, I thought you said no one should have tweets this long, Steve." And then he had a reply. He said something like, long tweets will find full jokes, but when you talk about politics, it should remain 150 or less. Will he come up with these rules?
Yeah.
They're just suiting his needs there.
I'm just gonna run every tweet by him from now on.
Okay. It's very
Be like,
important.
that's okay.
On January 8th, 2018 at 2:04 a.m., tonight's drummer joke. Why is a funk band like a bull? The horns are in the front and the asshole is in the back.
What does that mean?
What is... Wait,
He's calling the
horns
drummer
are-
an asshole.
Oh, I see.
All right.
He has lots
Leave
of
the oboe
musical
out of it this
opinions.
time. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's just moving on to hating drummers.
okay, the following month. Yo Memo, so lame, it uses a handicap space at the mall. Hashtag Yo Memo jokes.
I don't even know what the hell Yo Memo
What
is.
does that mean?
I don't
Yo
know.
Memo?
Is Yo Memo like an app or something?
It's gotta be.
I don't know. Was memos trending at the time?
I don't remember. That was a whole year ago. I
Also,
don't even remember what I
you're
did yesterday.
This joke, bud.
I know he got a bunch of shit in the replies about making a joke about handicapped people. So he made a new tweet. I didn't save it, but he was like, as someone who was smashed by a van in 1999, I feel like I can say the word lame. Thanks.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
June 7th, 2018. Wow, we skipped a whole half a year here. Blabbermouth Dawn has not unblocked me, yet somehow I soldier on. Through my film of tears occasionally causes me to stagger.
Okay.
August 10th, 2018. So this cute little Maine potato goes to her mom and says she's going to New York and marry Lester Holt. I've got my eyes on him, she says. Oh no, Mom replies, that will never work. He's a news anchor and you're just a commentator.
Thoughts, Jessica?
That was a groaning one.
Oh my god. I mean, that's kind of cute.
Yeah, well. If you were 14 and saying the joke, maybe.
I don't approve of that
Yeah.
joke. Nor do I approve of the next one.
September 30th, 2018. Denial is not a river in Egypt.
That it?
Yeah,
That's
just
it.
Denial is not a river in Egypt.
All right.
October 16th, 2018. AMC is running a bunch of movies based on my stuff on October 20th. Some of them are actually quite good.
Some of them.
I thought that was a nice shade he was throwing.
Yeah. And he's right.
Some of them are good.
Okay, November 14th, 2018. A movie review I would like to see. Terrific! I laughed so hard I shit my pants.
Okay.
Okay.
Why would you want to see that?
Yeah, no, I would feel bad if I made someone shit their pants. That would not be a compliment to my creation.
So I spent a long time reading all of these tweets last night, and I discovered the best 2 sets of tweets that anyone's ever written. So this one is from Stephen King on November 17th. When you nuke a hungry man dinner, you gotta take the brownie out. I always eat it when I wait for the rest to cook. The brownie is the best. Okay, so I mean, he's just a man talking about eating brownies. And then, 2 hours later, somebody, I won't say the name, responds with, "My brother passed away in the wee hours of this morning. He was a fan of your work, and as am I. This brought a smile. Thank you for that. He is smiling too. Thank you for bringing joy through your world, soul." Okay. He's just talking about eating hungry man dinners, and this lady goes, "My brother just died."
I thought it was going to be like, "My brother died eating a hungry man."
Right?
He starved to death. He was an actual hungry man. I mean, maybe that happened.
Maybe that's why he died.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
well, it's nice that Stephen King's dinner choices can bring a smile to somebody's dead brother's face.
Apparently.
I mean, celebrities just cannot respond to replies they get because
No, they'd probably go crazy.
how many dead brothers do you think they get on like every tweet? Like, god damn, that's so depressing.
Also, I don't know if it's like encouraging or really depressing that Stephen King is eating hungry man dinners.
It's kind of depressing because these things aren't good.
No, it's
Like for
truly
me,
not.
maybe it would be like, oh, I'm
Yeah,
always
it's all
gonna
I
do
can
this,
afford,
no
right?
matter how much money I make.
I feel like, I mean, just like from interviews I've seen and read of him, just I don't think he ever really adapted to like the rich lifestyle. I just think he
Yeah.
Probably not.
he keeps it
I mean, I
simple.
guess that's cool.
Yeah. I think it's cool. I mean, I don't approve of eating hungry man dinners. But...
Maybe he was by himself, so he has no other thing to eat in the house.
Maybe.
He doesn't know how to cook anything.
You think he has like a servant?
You know, I would think they would have a cook, but they probably don't.
Do you think he calls him servant?
He's
Like, servant, we take my brownie out.
You did not remove my brownie. Come here for firm lashing.
Okay, we have about 3 left, I think.
So November 20th. Why did the cranberry sauce cross the road? To get to the other sides. Happy Thanksgiving, you guys. And then in parentheses, Alexa told me that joke.
No, she didn't, goddammit, Steve. No, she didn't.
Get to the other sides. That's
Yes.
Uh,
The next one, on December 7th, Trump calls Rex Tillerson dumb as a rock. This seems possible because it takes one to know one.
ah,
Arr, arr.
Yup.
November 1st, Texas, fire Ted Cruz. What have you got to lose? Probably nothing. Maine, fire Bruce Poloquin. I can't think of a rhyme, so just fire him.
He's not good with the rhymes.
No.
no, I mean that seems like something that he could easily have found a rhyme to if he thought about it.
Yeah. I mean, not even he already kind of made like a near rhyme with in him, so
Yes.
just put a little more effort into it, Steve.
Steve. Okay, this last one is the one that inspired this podcast.
Awesome.
So take it away.
On January 30th at 12:36 in the morning. It turns out that Mr. Spock has 3 ears. The left ear, the right ear, and the final front ear.
Wow. Wow. Also, gross. What?
Yeah.
I mean, I get the joke, but also it just makes some horrible images in my mind.
This is true.
Yes.
Like, I feel like a pun should also, like, it should work both ways.
It should make some type of logical sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Especially for about a Star Trek, like a Vulcan joke should have some logic in it.
All right, now what was the best one that we just told you, and what's the worst one?
Oh my god, that hot dog one was pretty bad.
It was.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what my favorite one was.
Was it the oboe one?
The oboe, yeah, I know. The oboe, just because it didn't make any sense whatsoever.
Made no sense.
He just has a grudge, I think.
Against musical instruments. Was that when he
just
got kicked out of the band or what?
You think he was kicked out?
I don't know.
So, he has a weird running theme of hating on instruments. The trombone, drummers.
He has to live next to some kid who's like in bands.
It's like, goddamn, shut that kid up.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, those were the dad jokes of Stephen King.
Ta-da.
Oh my god. I'm not even sure they qualifies.
Some of them.
Some of them do.
Some of them, I don't know what they
qualified as like sentences. But he's a busy man. He's a busy man. He gets on Twitter to let out steam, I'm sure.
I guess.
About musicians.
Yeah.
Goddamn oboe players.
Very bizarre. His tweeting frequency is disturbing.
He's constantly tweeting. I mean,
Yeah, but his
not normally about.
his
your
2 a.m. jokes were great.
Yes.
So in between those, it's just constant, like, is it political stuff now?
Okay, so he goes between talking shit about Donald Trump, like sometimes he'll just like respond to one of his tweets with like, "You are a terrible man." But also something that I think is extremely cool is he is constantly just tweeting out recommendations of books he's read.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
And it's very cool.
He does it a lot more often than I thought he did. Like, I knew he did the Paul Tremblay book, but I mean, he's doing all these recommendations, like, every week. And also TV shows. Like I said, he's really concerned about the zombies not biodegrading.
As we all are.
He's not wrong.
And he's also posting a lot of pictures of his dog, which didn't make a lot of sense to talk about on the podcast since you have to be looking at the image for it to make sense.
Right.
But he loves calling his dog Molly the thing of evil.
I knew that.
And sometimes he'll retweet his grandson, Ethan King. But like one time, his grandson was like, "Trump is a bitch." He just retweeted it. This child.
I was gonna say, how old is his child?
I think a teenager.
I was gonna say, don't you have to be a certain age to be on Twitter?
No, the internet has no laws.
Well, I know that. But
It's
I mean,
the Wild West.
Yeah.
You could just tweet oboe players suck and it's fine.
Which is just gonna be what I'm gonna tweet from now on. Actually, no, I'm gonna stand up for the oboes. I'm gonna put
Stand up
like
for the
just
oboes
tweet
of the
that
world.
scene from Amadeus, where he's just like, and then above it all, an oboe. You tweet that right to him. You're like, what you got against oboes? Motherfucker.
He's gonna block you. Oh, okay.
That was an enlightening experience. Thank you for including me.
No problem.
your life is now complete.
As soon as I had this idea, it's like, we gotta get Jessica on.
Yes.
She will understand these jokes more than anyone.
Appreciate them. Or not appreciate them, as the case may be.
Before we let you go, we do have 2 questions posted on Patreon.
Alrighty.
All right, so both of these were from Thomas Joyce. He goes, "Hey Jessica, what was the inspiration behind Rabbits in the Garden? And given the historical setting and setting it in an asylum, what was the research process like?"
Ooh. Well, Rabbits in the Garden was actually a combination of 2 stories. I had started the story with Avery and Faye and all the good murder stuff when I was about 20, 21, and then I stopped writing it because it was disturbing me too much. And I was just like, I don't want to write about, naked people hanging on meat hooks. That's just, I don't think I want to explore that at this time. And so I kind of just put it aside. And I think at that time it was called The Garden. And years later, I had a dream about like from beginning, middle, end, like this completely fully formed story dream. And I got up and I wrote the entire thing down, and it had kind of a 50s vibe to it, in a love story where two kids, they fall in love when they're young, and then they get separated by, the machinations of this evil mother. And after writing it all down, I felt like it kind of fit with the other story I had started. So I kind of just stuck them together. And the research involved, since most of it takes place on, not most of it, but a lot of it takes place on Martha's Vineyard, I reached out to my mother and her brothers and sisters. They grew up on the vineyard in the 50s, 60s. And so I got a lot of research from them. And then I did looking into Taunton Asylum, which is not there anymore, but looking into there were a lot of great blogs of people going and exploring, those great asylum hunter kind of people that take all those great pictures. So I kind of read all of their research and looked at all their pictures and stuck it with what I'd learned about Martha's Vineyard, and then that's it.
Very cool.
And when's the sequel due out now? Do you have a set date?
Yeah, I don't have a set date yet, but we're hoping to get it out around Thanksgiving. A lot of the book takes place or culminates at Thanksgiving, so
that makes sense.
You have time to add that sweet cranberry joke that you did.
All right. Yeah. Actually, it would work because there's some stuff about cranberry bogs on Martha's Vineyard, so
Hell yeah.
I got to do a lot of the research I did for Hares in the Hedgerow was reading this book by it was actually, oh God, I can't remember, Craig Kinsbury. He was the actor who played Ben Gardner in Jaws, and he was the inspiration for Quint, that Robert Shaw lived with him and learned what it was like to be a sharker in the vineyard. And so he put out this really great book. He's a disgusting, dirty old fisherman, and he has some really great limericks and stuff about growing up on the island or coming to the island and working there in the 30s, 40s, 50s. And a lot of Hares in the Hedgerow takes place during the 30s, because I go even farther back and learn about Faye's childhood. So that was some fun research as well. Stick that cranberry joke in there.
I hope so. If this joke isn't in the book when I read it, I'm gonna leave you a 1-star review.
And then you'll
I'll put it on
feel
the
like,
back of the book.
and then you'll feel like you've been shot out of a cannon.
At last.
So that's what it feels like.
All right, so the next question he has is, and what inspired the idea of B-Punk and the Maiden Voyage? Do you have any more stories planned for that world?
The original story, The Maiden Voyage, I started writing because of an anthology call years ago. They were looking for kind of like a steampunk animal hybrid kind of thing. So I wrote The Maiden Voyage. I realized it was way too long, so I cut like 4,000 words from it and submitted it, and they were like, no, this is terrible. It reads like you cut 4,000 words from it. And so I kind of held on to it for a while, put those words back in, and it ended up that just The Maiden Voyage was published as a novella years ago by Hazardous Press, which and so when I got the rights back, I contacted Unnerving and said, would you be interested in publishing this reprint? And he's like, yeah, I'd like to, but can you add more stories to it and make it a collection? I'm like, yeah, that would be awesome. So so basically, like my whole thing with the hybrids was bees and pollen powered Titanic and all this like jelly glass. Basically everything's made from like pollen and honey and whatnot. And the CEO of Royal Honey, Barbara Holloway, she's kind of like got these cool jelly glass gears in her and whatnot. So when I did this collection, I added spider people, arachnothropes, and then also butterfly people, Fangaristhropes. And I would definitely like to explore that world more, but I don't think I'm going to get to do that until a motherfucking heist novel. Because
finish
it's
the
the thing.
motherfucking heist novel.
Yeah, but it's a share. It takes place in the same kind of timeline as Maiden Voyage. So.
Well, that's unexpected.
Yeah. So it's probably not gonna have too many similar characters or anything, but Maiden Voyage has hybrids, and motherfucking heist novel, which is also related to my novella Homebirth, has hybrids in it. So it's just kind of a more evolved, where Maiden Voyage takes place in, early 1910s, and motherfucking heist novel is going to take place in 2020. So it's just kind of the evolution of the hybrids. But a character might pop up. We'll see.
Have you began that book yet, or is it still being outlined?
Yeah, I'm still I've written a few chapters and kind of plotted out things. I have all the characters kind of sketched out and ready to go. I'm trying to tie up some loose ends on Hares in the Hedgerow and get a couple short stories out, maybe take a little break.
Take a break?
You get to take breaks? What kind of shit is that?
I know, I won't. I mean, I last year was supposed to be like an entire break for me, so that didn't happen. No. Yeah, I never actually take the breaks.
Well, the more free time you take, the more time you can tweet jokes.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I've learned so much now. I've learned from the master.
I hope no one ever introduces him to like a tweet deck, like one of those scheduled tweet services, because we would all be doomed.
We would.
That's too much funny for the world to handle. I think Twitter would collapse, without all the negative energy pouring and his like happy jokes. It would cease to exist.
So, the day he was blocked from Trump, he had written like a big old political tweet. Around the same time, the same day, he also did that big promotion for The Mist that I thought was funny. So I wonder, like, maybe he blocked him because of the Mist tweet.
He's like, oh, this show is gonna suck. I don't want to see it.
Oh, no.
This whole time, he just wasn't a fan of the Mist.
Oh, my gosh. That's amazing.
Yeah. It was worth scrolling back to read that. Okay. Yeah. Okay, do you want to go ahead and plug where people can find you?
Yeah, sure. I'm on Twitter at I'm on Twitter somewhere. Jess McHugh, and I'm at the same name on Instagram, the Jess McHugh, and you can find me on Facebook. Although I don't really use my Facebook author page anymore.
Does anybody?
Kind of became useless. But I'm at jessicamchughnbooks.com. Had a bunch of short stories come out, like Ashes and Entropy anthology, and Hellhole anthology, and maybe I have a pizza thing coming out someday.
You might, like in August, maybe.
It's coming out, people. Get hungry.
The other day, not Jessica McHugh, fuck.
She's Jessica McHugh.
Betty Rocksteady had posted something about the pizza thing, and like this random guy commented, "It's still not out. I'm glad I trusted my instincts by not submitting to them." It's like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? It takes time.
He's been part of those shitty anthologies that just accept people immediately put it out without editing or reading.
I responded, "Trust me, I am also glad you did not submit." He did not respond.
He'll be submitting to that Leftovers anthology.
Oh God.
Sloppy leftovers.
I would love to do a Sloppy Joe anthology.
Oh my gosh.
No.
You're just gonna go through all the pizza. I mean, all the
good
foods.
All the foods you get at a school lunch.
You could call it the Lunch Lady series.
Yes!
All right.
I those gross green beans, the big fat ones, the stumpy ones.
Yes. Those are awful.
Oh, country
That
fried
and, like,
steak.
My school used to, like, really, like, screw up tater tots. Like,
How?
I didn't know what tater tots were when I was young because my mom never made them.
Yeah.
And we'd eat them at school, and they were, like, not crunchy. They were, like, soggy, you know?
No.
So now I have, like, this, like, aversion to tater tots.
Yeah, that's no good. That's no good.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Get you someone who makes tater tats, right?
Sonic's tater tots are pretty good. Do you have a Sonic in where you live?
Yeah, but it's so far away. I mean, it's not, but
Yeah, I understand. It's
if I
like
can't
far enough
see
that you don't
the
want to
view
go
from
there.
where I'm
Yeah.
sitting, it's really not worth it.
Yeah, we didn't have any in Indiana, but when I moved to Texas,
They're all
so it's
over
like
here.
one in every street.
The joke is if they're building something in the small town we live in, it's either a dentist or a Sonic. So seriously, there's like 3 Sonics around here.
And also 8 dentists.
Really?
Well, we didn't have any near us for the longest time, and every time we went to a Sonic, I'd be like, "Oh, why can't we have one of these near us?" And then as soon as it opens, I like have been once.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
I get it.
Do you?
I do get it.
It took away the specialness of it.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Okay, well, Jessica, thank
Now that
you
I want
for
lunch.
coming on.
Yes,
Yeah, let's
thank
go.
you for
Let's go
having
eat some
me.
food.
Not tater tots.
All right. Until next time, when we talk
Yes.
about, I guess we'll do a follow up in like 2 yields. What new
What he's been
jokes
up
he's
to.
done. All right, thanks, Jessica. Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
And that was Jessica McHugh investigating the atrocious dad jokes of Stephen King.
Atrocious is a correct word.
Atrocious. We recorded that episode back on the Super Bowl, I believe.
Super Bowl
or
Sunday,
the day
or
before
was
that.
it was around Super Bowl Sunday.
I just checked King's old Twitter account to see if he's added any new dad jokes since then. Nothing really worth talking about. He has a couple photos of his dog with a frisbee around his head saying, like, what happens in Frisbee Club stays in Frisbee Club.
Do you think he intended that to be a joke? Because that's awful.
I mean, I assume he thought it was humorless.
Yes. This poor dog is wearing a cone around his head. Come on.
He's an actual frisbee.
A real frisbee?
Yeah.
Why is the dog wearing a frisbee around his head?
I think he ate a hole into the center
Yeah.
of it.
But
I
that
don't
would be
know.
funny then.
I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering this. I looked this up several hours ago. It's possible he's written a new tweet since then.
Nah, that's okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to look again. So yeah, go buy Jessica's books.
You should always buy everybody's books.
I don't think that's true.
Our books.
Everybody's?
Our books.
You didn't say that. You said everybody's.
Yeah, well.
Don't go buy most books. But buy some books. Especially the books we publish.
Yes.
Like the newest book we just released. Take it away.
Born in Blood, Volume 1 by George Daniel Lee and cover artist Nick Hardy. So
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a that's all you have to say about it? What do you think of this book?
I'm getting ready to say
What do
more.
you think? You like it?
It's very Clive Barker-esque, very
Yeah.
lyric. It's beautifully written.
Yeah.
So
It's gruesome. It's erotic. It'll get you all hot and bothered, and also it'll make you vomit. You'll come and puke simultaneously.
will you?
And that's how I do it.
Oh, okay.
You know. Yeah, it's just it's a collection of insane, poetic, lyrical tales.
Gruesome stories.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to describe. I mean, if you read, like, the shit that Clive Barker's written,
It gives you
the
kind
plots are always kind of impossible to decipher, like in an elevator pitch.
Yeah. But it's got that same quality to
Lots
it.
of demonic and angelic themes going on. Pain, hell, purgatory. That's a good collection.
Yes, it
You
is
can-
available now on all
Amazon, Barnes & Noble,
IndieBound, our website.
Kobo, eventually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is on our website.
No, I'm at Kobo.
Oh, Kobo eventually? Yes. we'll
Yeah,
get to
I have
Kobo.
to get that uploaded this weekend. But yeah, if you want to support us directly, go to perpetualpublishing.com and buy it from us, and we will ship it to you
Yes.
via the United States Postal Service.
That's typically the way things get mailed.
You have to say the United States Postal Service,
Yes.
because if you say the Postal Service, they'll think, oh man, I thought that band broke up.
Did they?
I don't know. They haven't. They only released one album,
Oh, well,
and that was it. You know why they're called the Postal Service?
why?
Do you?
No, I don't.
Well, it was only these two guys who did the band, and they didn't live close. So the one guy, he would make the music and mail the tapes, and then the guy would write lyrics over it.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Why don't they just email it?
Why didn't they call it the United States Postal
I
Service?
don't know. Maybe one of them.
Imagine if they had to do a
a.
speedy delivery, the FedEx. This has been Postal Service Talk. Other things going on with us. Do we say goodbye, Golden Blood? Yeah.
We did.
Go buy it! If you want to hang out with us in Austin, come down to Radio Coffee and Bill on the 19th of February between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. I will be reading something probably
I would assume.
about crime, perhaps. I don't know. I'll also be selling a book.
A book.
I'll be selling my new book, Carnivorous Legal Activities, on the down low. You won't see them, and you won't see them displayed. But if you want a copy, just say, "Hey,
He's got 'em.
Max, I want what you got."
We'll go out to the trunk and do a deal.
I'll have a trench coat on me, and I'll open the coat, and then you'll see the book strapped to the inside. Also, on the 19th, I will be doing an official book launch at Deep Vellum Books in Dallas.
That's on the 23rd.
Yes, that's not what I said. The 23rd, my bad, at Deep Vellum Books in Dallas, Texas, United States.
You're very big on the United States thing today, aren't you?
7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Same times, okay? It looks like it's going to be 46 degrees out.
And it might be slightly rainy.
Yeah, so
Bring an umbrella.
Put a raincoat on. I'll be dressed in a wolf costume and also a trench coat.
I don't know what I'll be dressed in yet.
Oh, well, I'll pause.
No, but I can't think that far ahead. That's next
I'll
weekend.
go lay it out. That'll be cool and fun and stuff. So if you're in Dallas, come on down. We just booked a hotel room, so we need to pay off that room. Please come down and buy some books.
Please come so we don't have to sleep on the streets.
And buy George Daniel Lee's Golden Blood. We
There
haven't
you
said
go.
that yet.
Like 4 times.
Hey man, where were you born? In blood.
Well, aren't you
In
fancy?
my wishful hometown. Blood. Hey man, I'm from Oklahoma. Where are you from? Blood. That should be like a promo.
Wouldn't that be
We should do a
funny?
bunch of commercials that way.
Wouldn't it be funny if you were like actually born in like Hell, Michigan?
No.
Where were you born? I was born in Hell.
It's blood. It's not Born in Hell. It's Born in Blood. That's the name of the collection. Have you not been paying attention? You formatted the fucking book. You don't know the title?
I do.
Oh my god.
I even made the jacket of the
How
book.
how embarrassing.
I know it's Born in
How
Blood.
embarrassing for you. Everyone's laughing at you.
I don't think anybody's laughing at me.
Anyway, Shuttle is releasing a new show based off of Creep Show. It is called Creep Show.
What?
We
That's
talked
crazy.
about this in the past, but now they have released a lineup of season 1. Obviously, if you don't know what Creep Show is, then why are you listening to a show about Stephen King? But you know, Creep Show is that old movie directed by Romero and written by King. It was an anthology film, so yeah, it makes sense that it could be a TV show.
Right, why not?
And the Shuttle's awesome. I love everything they put out.
They're pretty fun. They've got a lot of good stuff on
Yeah,
Shudder.
if you're a fan of the genre and you don't have a subscription to Shuttle, what's going on? You should get a subscription. It's not that expensive. They should sponsor us.
Brought to you by Shudder.
They won't sponsor us after this, though. So this is the lineup. I will say the titles. Basically, these are short stories that they are adapting. So, like, Silvery Waters of Lake Champlain by Joe Hill. Joe Hill isn't writing the episode, but the episode is based off of Joe Hill's story. And there's one off... there's a Josh Madelman, there's a Joe Lansdale, there's a...
Christopher Buellman, Bruce Jones, John Esposito, and Rob Schrab.
Yeah, so that's the lineup for the episode. I mean...
Right.
The one thing I do love about this show is the diversity. I'll have to say
There's
that.
quite a few different authors here that would make it kind of exciting.
I'm being sarcastic.
Well, no, I mean, I'd be like between Josh and Joe. I mean, there's a big difference between the way they write. However, they are all Male.
All a bunch of white dudes.
All a bunch of white dudes.
I mean, come on. I mean, I'm good friends with Josh. I've hung out with Joe Lansdale quite a bit. I wouldn't call him my friend. I would, but he probably wouldn't. I would be like, yeah, Joe's my friend, and Joe would be like, who is that?
No, he recognizes you now. Like if he saw you, he'd be like, oh yeah, I've seen you before.
That fella?
I stared at his back for several hours at KillerCon.
He was looking at my address on that box of books. I think he wrote my address down. God damn it, I'm gonna have to move again. But yeah, I mean, I like that both of them are getting this exposure, and it'll probably help little book sales. And
Careers,
I doubt they need help,
yeah.
but yeah, I mean, they're both great writers. I can't say for the rest of them. But yeah, I mean, come on, it's 2019. You could at least do half,
or at least one or two females, or any sort of diversity.
But no, we need John Esposito, who is famous for writing the webisodes of The Walking Dead. Who gives a shit?
I didn't know The Walking Dead had webisodes.
I just didn't even know The Walking Dead was still on. No, I did know because I just read all of Stephen King's tweets. And as we know, those zombies still have not biodegraded.
I know.
What's the
It's
deal?
very important.
Maybe that happens in the webisodes.
Maybe.
You think he's staying up to date with those?
Probably not.
Probably not. I mean, I'm still going to watch the show. We'll probably talk about it on the podcast. Hopefully, they fucking fix this in season 2. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. You can find us at castlerockcast.com.
Our TeePublic page is teepublic.com/user/PMM Publishing. Go buy a t-shirt.
Yeah, buy a t-shirt, buy a baby bib, buy a cup, buy
You
a
can
hat.
buy anything with our
buy a
logo
thong.
on
Buy a thong with
Do
my
they have
face
a
on
thong?
it. I don't know.
it. Would you like me to upload your face onto a thong?
Yeah.
Our Facebook group is Castle Rock Radio for fans of Stephen King podcasts and dick jokes. Our Facebook page is facebook.com/Castle Rock Radio. Our Twitter handle is @CastleRockCast. Our email, if you'd like to send us some notes about something, castlerockcast@gmail.com.
Well, next month we're doing a Q&A episode to celebrate our 2-year anniversary as a podcast. So if you want us to answer any questions, send us an email
Any
now.
questions?
Well, make them decent questions.
Yeah, I mean, don't ask me,
Don't be like, why is the sky blue? No one knows.
Our newsletter, so you can stay on top of what's happening in our world, is pmmpnews.com. And of course, if you love us, support us on Patreon at patreon.com/PMMpublishing.
Next week in the program, we will be discussing Stephen King's Cycle of the...
Werewolf.
Oh, is it?
Maybe it's the cycle of the unicycle, but that would be silly. Or the cycle of the laundry.
Stop all your head. So yeah, we'll be doing that to kind of celebrate the release of my new novel, Carnivorous Lunar Activities, which comes out on the 22nd, which I think will be the day after this episode, next episode drops. Doesn't matter. It depends on when we record.
When we're finished with it.
Yeah, it depends when. Yeah, I'll stop talking. No one's listening now. Nobody's listening.
Goodbye, Thomas.
Goodbye, Thomas. Have a good day, man.
Jordy Verrill, you monkhead. You monkhead.